Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to Best Kept Plans. Today's video is going to be a budget with me for the paycheck that I am receiving on September 29th, 2022 using the printable version of the Budget by Paycheck Workbook from the Budget Mom. If you're interested in seeing that, please stick around. It feels so good to be back filming this video for you all. I did have to take a little bit of a break from filming some YouTube videos because I ended up with COVID, unfortunately. I do feel fortunate that I am vaccinated and boosted, and so I think that my COVID could have been a heck of a lot worse than it was had I not been vaccinated and boosted. So I'm so thankful for science. I will say that. But I'm really excited to be filming this video for you, to be back into the swing of filming YouTube videos. And so I wanted to start out in my September monthly view. This is a 3 paycheck month for me, which is really awesome. We're going to be budgeting for the paycheck on the 29th. But as you can see, all of the bills that I have on here and everything are checked off, actually, except for my church contribution, but that's only because I forgot to check it off. So all of my bills and everything are checked off for the month of September. This paycheck is right at the end of the month, so it's going to be used to pay for bills that are in October. If I cut forward to my October monthly spread, you can see the paycheck listed here up top, and it's going to be used to pay a couple of bills for the month. I also have in mind that I need to know my contributions for my different savings challenges as well. If we move to my paycheck budget tracker for this paycheck, I'm going to zoom on in so that we can talk about it. As usual, I am going to be budgeting my income to be $3,000. That is what I usually budget my income to be. I do have 2 bills that I'm going to be paying with this paycheck: my rent, which is $600, and my Spotify, which I always budget to be $11. There are 2 things that I do have to pay or contribute to with this paycheck that I kind of forgot about when I was initially putting my budget together. And so I don't have them listed in the budgeted column, but I want you to keep them in mind for the end of this budget. One of them is one of the 2022 savings challenges from the Budget Mom for the month of September. I do have to look specifically on the day that I get paid in order to know how much I'm going to contribute. So I really couldn't budget that per se, but it is going to factor into my actual column. And then every single month I do make a donation to a charity. I do donate $100, so what's in the actual column will be $100. Sometimes it ends up being a little bit more if there's like some type of fee involved in the donation. I usually I cover the fee if I can. So that's why I didn't write it in the actual column yet. Every month will usually put a poll up, and then based on the votes here on YouTube and Instagram, that'll determine what charity I'm contributing to. For the month of September, I'm actually not going to be putting a poll up. It is Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month from September 15th through the middle of October, and so I did want to highlight a charity that was focused on the Hispanic and Latin community, and with everything that has recently gone on with hurricanes in the Caribbean, I decided to donate to a charity that is currently helping to fund emergency efforts in Puerto Rico. I am Puerto Rican. I have family who live on the island in Puerto Rico still. My mother was born in Puerto Rico, and so that island and that culture and those people are really, really important to me. And so I feel compelled to donate to a charity that's focused on efforts in Puerto Rico right now. So that's where my donation's going to go to for the month of September. For the two items that I did actually budget with, it comes to a total of $611. And if I subtract that from the $3,000 that I budgeted my income to be, we are left with $2,389, which is what I'm going to bring over to the envelopes or variable expense section of the Paycheck Budget Tracker. This section is meant for items that you know you're going to spend money on, but aren't necessarily bills or don't have a set amount for them. So, I budget for each of these categories, but I never know what my actual column is going to say. For me, my categories and the amounts always stay the same. I always budget $200 for groceries, $75 for eating out, $75 for gas, and $150 for miscellaneous. If I add all of those values together, it does equal $500. And if I subtract that from the $2,389 we were left with after paying my bills, then we have $1,889 that we're going to bring up to the sinking fund section of the Paycheck Budget Tracker. I'm so excited about my sinking fund section. If you didn't see my last budget with me and cash envelope stuffing, I did finally start contributing to my sinking funds for 2023, which is really awesome. I love being able to get a head start on sinking funds. It allows me to not have to save as much per paycheck. It makes my sinking funds just a heck of a lot more manageable for me, which I'm really grateful for. So with this paycheck, we're going to be budgeting $50 for travel, $25 for Christmas, $15 for subscriptions, $20 for medical, $50 for car maintenance, $110 for car insurance and taxes, $25 for birthdays, and $20 for holidays. If I add all of those together, that does equal $315. And if I subtract that from the $1,889 we were left with after paying my bills and contributing to my variable expenses, we have $1,574. Now that is what I'm going to be bringing down to the extra savings section. Now I kind of filled this out incorrectly and I didn't realize it until after I was done. Generally, once I'm done with my sinking funds, whatever's left over, I tend to put into my house savings. But I did purchase a car in the month of June. I do want to pay that car off more quickly. And so now I'm at a place where I want to balance that leftover money between house savings and paying off my car more quickly. And that's what you see here in the extra savings section. I am planning on putting $500 towards my car, which I actually should have put in the extra debt section. Totally messed that up. I'll have to remember that in the future. And then the rest of the cash I was going to put into my house savings, keeping in mind that at a minimum, I have $100 I have to pull out for my donation, and then whatever I end up needing to save for the 2022 savings challenge. So I know definitely I want to put $500 towards my car. So this $1,074 for my house is actually going to be less than what I have listed here. The highest it could be is $974, but it's going to be even less than that because of that 2022 Savings Challenge contribution. So the day that I get paid, when I'm able to know how much I'm contributing for this challenge, I'll be able to subtract that and I'll be able to come up with my actual amount for my house savings and make that transfer into my house savings account. If we flip this page over, we come to my cash envelope breakdown. Let me zoom you all out just a little bit so that you can see this a little more clearly. I don't do a lot. Oh, wait. I'm such a dodo brain. I totally forgot about this. I didn't want to wait until the day I got paid to determine what I was going to put in for the 2022 Savings Challenge. So I actually ended up just kind of coming up with an arbitrary sum. Not really arbitrary. The challenge is based off how much you have in your main checking account, basically, like the change amount. And when I was putting together my cash envelope breakdown, I was like, you know what? Let me just see how much is in there now. And I had 60 cents. And so it translates to $60 saved. I totally forgot that I ended up doing that. So I actually do know at this point pretty much what I'm going to need to save here. So it'll be $60 for the 2022 Savings Challenge. And then $100, maybe a couple dollars more if there's some type of fee associated with my donation. So this here, instead of $1,074, it's going to be closer to like maybe $915 or so. So I totally forgot I did that. I'm so glad that I flipped the page and remembered. But as I was saying, I don't do a ton of different things with this page. I've kind of found that sticking with biggest bills possible works for me, and so that's what I tend to do. So for eating out and gas, where I'm going to put $75 into my envelopes, I do that in a 50, a 20, and a 5. The one category where there is some variation is my miscellaneous envelope, because that's where I usually pull my savings challenges from. So I usually need to make sure that I have certain bill denominations. So for this pay period, I'm going to pull that 150 in 250s, 220s, a 5, and 5 singles. For all of my sinking funds, it's always the largest denominations possible. And then with this savings challenge, I did the same thing. So all of this added up together does equal $675, which is what I'm going to withdraw from my bank the day that I get paid. And that's what I'll be stuffing when I stuff my envelopes. And that video will be posting on Saturday. That is it for this budget with me. I'm so glad that I ended up remembering that I did figure out what I wanted to contribute for that savings challenge. I was just kind of like antsy in trying to give myself, I think it was just antsy. I just wanted to give myself a roundabout idea as to how much I was going to be able to put in my house savings. So I was like, let me just figure out this number now. I still applied to the challenge. Like I still did what the challenge asked. I just did it, a couple days early versus on the day that I got paid. I hope that you all enjoyed this budget with me. If you have any questions about how I put this budget together, about how I use the Budget by Paycheck Workbook, please do not hesitate to put a comment down below. And as always, everyone, please be safe. Bye-bye.